Hello everyone, this is Neha Sharma. Today in this video we are going to start There is Another Sky, which is poem number 1 of unit number 1 for class 7th WOW English. So dear students, as you know, we have started unit number 1 of this WOW English series 7 for class 7th. So this unit Hope is having two sections, and the first chapter of this unit we have done already. There we learned about two girls, Sue and Johnsy, who were young artists, and one of the girls, Johnsy, she fell ill, and she got pneumonia actually, and she left the hope to live. She became hopeless. But when Mr. Berman made the masterpiece, the leaf on her on the window pane, then she became hopeful, and the story changed from hopelessness to hopefulness. So There is Another Sky is also on the same tone and the theme. This here we can say the tone of the poem is encouraging, inspiring and hopeful. Before starting the poem, let's talk about the poetess of the poem. And the name of the poem, once again I am telling you, There is Another Sky, which is written by Emily Dickinson. So let's know about Emily Dickinson. The author herself appears to be the protagonist of her own poem. Protagonist means the main character. In here, Emily, being the lovely sister, sent her brother a letter pleading him to come back home. So here her brother Austin, actually we will see that he is not living with her, means not he is living separately in Boston, and he is not feeling good actually there. He is not feeling better. He has been depressed due to his work, right? So that's why he is not feeling good there and feeling depressed, right? So she is writing this. Actually poem is a part of a letter written by Emily Dickinson to her brother, right? And why she has wrote this poem? Because she wanted her brother Austin, he has been fed up of his duties, and he's not very happy there. So that's why she wanted to call her back. When we talk about Austin, this is the brother of Emily Dickinson. So Emily's brother, he is one of Emily's tries to convince to come back home in a place where there is always sunshine and the flowers are forever blooming. That she may be talking about her hometown or the place where the entire family is living, but Austin was not living there. So as we know that the message of the poem is inspirational, that is, never say die or never lose hope. So dear students, let's see some of the quotations. Life offers so many great choices. All you have to do is to see them. And the second one is, life is a matter of choices and every choice you make makes you, right? When we talk about the tone of the poem, it is encouraging, inspiring and hopeful, but it does not exactly start as such. In the first few lines of the poem, it is more depressing. This is seen in the use of words, as I have told you earlier too, that is darkness, faded, silent. But it is not all sadness, and the poetess always gives hope by saying there is another sky. That means there is another world which is not hopeless, where there are many opportunities. This also seen in the second part of the poem, in which use of the words such as brighter, bright be goes to show the positivity and hopefulness of the poetess. When we talk about the poem. Let's read the poem first. There is another sky ever serene and fair, and there is another sunshine, though it be darkness there. Never mind faded forest, Austin. Never mind silent fields. Here is a little forest whose leaf is ever green. Here is a brighter garden where not a frost has been. In its unfading flowers, I hear the bright bee hum. Prathe, my brother, into my garden come. So let's talk about the summary of the poem. Here I told you the poetess Emily Dickinson suggests Austen that there is another sky, a sky which is bright and calm, and he should not worry about the tired and the troublesome conditions of his life. Though in the word of Austen there is darkness, he should not think about it, because in this new world here is a new sunshine, means the place where the family is living, there is a sunshine, right? So whenever you are in problem, so please discuss that problem with your family. That is actually the message here. So the poetess wants to say here that he is alone there in the Boston, and he is not able, he is not able to express his troubles and problems with the family. It is the word of the new energy and enthusiasm, she is saying, and she advised her brother not to mind the faded forest that he observed, as well as he must not mind the silent fields also. And here is a little forest which is exactly the opposite to the condition in which he is leading his lives. The leaves in the forest are ever green where she is living with her family, right? And that's why she is calling him back to the home, and it is untouched by frost, so it remained evergreen forever. It has bright unfaded flowers where he can hear the humming sound of the bees, and she calls her brother with his with a very saying please actually, and advised him to leave the place where he is living and come back to the gardens which is created by the poetess. Talk about the rhyming scheme of the poem, that is written roughly. Scheme is A B C B C D E C F C G H I H. So how this is possible, let's see. See the last word. Rhyming scheme we can fix with the help of the last word of each line. Sky, right? How we speak it? Sky. Next, second line is having last word fair. Now you are not having any sound matching or matching of the, when we speak these words sky and fair, we are having different sounds. So to sky we will give A, and to fair we will give B, right? So first two line is having rhyming scheme of A, B. Now shine. Shine is not having any matching with sky or fair. Shine is having different sound. So we will give it what? C, right? So first three lines if we will talk here, so this is A, B and C. Now if we will talk about this fourth line, here it is there. So there and fair, whether the spelling is not, it is not required that the spelling should be same. The sound we have to check when we speak the words, the sounds are same, right? So fair and there. So this fair was having B, so we will give here B2. Now if we will talk about the first quatrain of the of this poem, that is having rhyming scheme A, B, C, B, right? If we will talk about this fifth line, that is having Austin. Austin is there, and Austin and sunshine, right? N sound is there. So this we will give C. Sunshine, Austin, right? Next is fields. Now fields, we are not having any sound which was matching with anything. So we have completed here till here A, B, C, B, C. So the next sound after A, B, C, this is what? D. So this fields will be D, right? Now forest, forest is there. Now we did not have any word which was having the same sound. So here we will give the new name to this. This is E. This is what? E. When we talk about green, green, right? So green was having like sunshine, Austin, green, no, right? N sound was there. So we have given that what? C. So this is once again C. Clear? When we talk about this next one, garden, garden, it is what? Garden. It is when we let's see, it's A, B, C, B, C, then D, then E, then C, and this garden and green, these are different. So here we will give what? Here we will give new sound, that is F, that we will give F, right? So F is the new sound for garden. Now once again there is bean. Now green, bean, they are having same. So this is what? After F there is green and bean. So what we have? Green, Austin, bean, this is what? C. So here we will give C, right? Next if we will talk about flowers, flowers is not matching with any last word. So here we will give, we were at F. After F there is what? F, G. So here flowers will be G. Clear? Like this we have to fix. After G there is what? Hum. Hum sound, hum is there, and we are not having any similar word after like this hum. So after G we will give it H. What is it? H. Next we will talk about brother. Brother, like brother is, brother was not having any matching with anything. So here after H we will give it I. And next last one is come. So come is rhyming with hum. So hum was given H. So this last is also having H here. So if we'll talk together the rhyming scheme of the full poem, that is A, B, it is A, B, C, then B, then C, then D, then E, then after E there is C, after that F, after that C once again, after C it was G, G, and then H, and then I, and then H. So this is having complete rhyming scheme of this sonnet of 14 lines. Please take care, the first 8 lines, are called octave, okay, which is made up of 8 lines. So that is octave, and the last 6 lines are sestet. What is that? Sestet. Okay, so this is the actually form of the poem. So let's talk about the explanation part of this poem, that is, what is it? First we will read, we will do it stanza wise. There is another sky, ever serene and fair. So serene word means what? Serene is what? Serene is calm and peaceful. So here, as I told you, that this poetess, she is talking to her brother. First we will understand the meaning of there is another sky. So as I told you, he is living out of his home, far from his home. He is not living Austin. When we talk about the brother of Emily, he is Emily. He is not living with his family. So he may face some problems and troubles in his job or whatever he is doing. It may happen that there is some stress and depression to him, right? So that's why the sister, who is Emily Dickinson, she is writing the letter to her brother and she is calling him back to home. And what she is saying, there is another sky, means there is another place instead of your workplace where you are working, right? There is your hometown also where you can live with your family. Ever serene and fair. Ever serene means what? Peaceful and calm, where you can got the the peace and the calmness of the life. and there is another sunshine, and here you can start your life once again with the new starting. Though it be darkness there, she's saying that though this place is where the hometown is, this is not a big place, right? So this is not very big town, but there is darkness always. Though it will be darkness there, it may be, you may face some problems when you will start the new starting. There you may get some of the problem in your life, but it is not as unpleasant and problematic like that place where you are working right now. So this she wants to say in the first 4 lines. When we talk about the second quatrain, here she is saying to us that never mind faded forest, Austin. Never mind faded forest, Austin, means where the hometown is, please do not worry, please do not bother about the faded forest. Faded, which are some problems are there, but not completely, they will not give you the stress. So here she is saying never mind. Never mind means what? Don't worry about the faded forest, Austin. Never mind silent fields. Okay, here is a little forest whose leaf is evergreen. So here she is saying that here the hometown and the place where the family is living, that is full of new opportunities and new hopes. So you should not feel that when you will come back after leaving your job, so you will not get anything. There may be you will get new work with less salary or with less opportunities, but opportunities are there with which you can start your new life, right? And next is, here is a brighter garden. Brighter garden means she is comparing 2 places, the place Boston where the brother is living right now, and the hometown where Austin's family is living, like Emily is also living with her family. So she is comparing when 2 gardens, 2 places. So that's why she is saying that here means the hometown and where the family is living, that is a good place to live, where not a frost has been. Frost is what? It is the crystal of ice. Actually this happen in the winter season, when there is too much, very chilled actually. So that time that frost appears. You must have seen that crystals of ice, right? So she is saying here in this second line, where not a frost has been, where you will not face lot of problems, because there is your family to support you, to guide you at every step of your life. In its unfading flowers, unfading means the withered, right? I hear the bright bee hum. Here she said, here you can enjoy the nature also, with where there is a sound of bees humming. Humming is what? When bees speak, so that creates humming sound. And this word hum is actually a poetic device which is named as onomatopoeia, like bees hum, right? Dog bark. So when these type of words are written or used in that, so this is a poetic device. So that this hum is what? Onomatopoeia. Prithe, my brother. Prithe means what? Prithe is please. This word prithe is actually not used nowadays in journal language, but it is ancient word, right? Ancient what it is? Prithe, which means please. My brother, into my garden come. Into my garden means where she is living with her family. So she is requesting her brother to come back to home, where he could start a new life, and the life there will be hopeful and very good. He will enjoy over there. So this is the actually poem. There is another sky. So dear students, we have learnt here in this poem, actually the message of the poem is that Emily Dickinson is calling her brother Austin Dickinson, right, whose complete name was actually William Austin Dickinson. So she is calling him back because because she wanted to say that whenever he was in need, whenever he will be in need in the future, she will provide she can offer the solace in his time of need, right? And because he is feeling unrest, and what was the reason of that unrest, so that's why she wanted to call him back. And that's why actually the message of the poem, that we should not lose hope, and we should start we should do the new beginnings with because there are a lot of opportunities in our life. Thank you very much. I hope you understood the poem. Please keep on listening, and please make the notes of the poem in your notebook so that it will help you in your future. Thank you very much.